Oh my god, I haven't heard that much.
T-Rex's eyes are just,
Come
glowing
over here, I can heal you. Showing them that we can do
with
that.
malevolence at these creatures, but he will back off. Although again, like it's just lightning's just crackling from him at this point. He takes a few steps back and he grabs one of the arrows and just pulls it out. While all the while he doesn't say a word. He's just staring them all down as he pulls out the arrows slowly, like splintering them in his claws.
Okay. In that case, we'll focus this on a different battle.
Meanwhile,
in the sky.
How far away?
I don't know.
Get back here. I haven't even heard. Oh no!
Now, how do you know when round 13 is gonna be?
That's true. I can probably just. Oops.
fool.
Can I set the round? No, I can't.
But run.
There we go. Wyvern runs away. You get your attack.
It wasn't. Was it round 13?
It's close enough.
Yeah. What did you say?
You hit. It fails.
It fails.
So
Oh
now
my
it's like 18.
Like, forever.
Uh,
But this outcome is.
She gets 10 attacks per.
you coward.
Per- So it needs to do
Can we just roll 10 attacks and see if that...
Just roll 10 attacks for me. As you will then be a mile away from everyone else.
How many did I just roll?
That's 3.
4,
4, that's 1 hit.
6,
13, okay.
8, 9, 10.
Okay, that's 29. The wyvern is still alive. Do you still wish to chase
Yes!
it?
it's gotta do like 5 fortitude saves.
You are... Yeah, it's going to fail. It's just going to fail.
Like
1. Yep, that's a 1. Okay. Do you still wish to chase it as you are now out of communication
Yes!
range
it has
with the
failed
rest
like
of them?
10 saves and has a 50-50 chance to do him. So
Yep, it has.
No, screw it. I'm gonna.
Okay.
do 10 more.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
The wyvern falls after half an hour of intense combat.
Yes!
I mean, it's like that's like a couple of minutes actually.
Does he have some kind of horn or something I can...
He has a kind
I
of
need a...
horn
I
shape.
want a battle trophy. What's the coolest battle trophy of a
You
wyvern?
could- Yeah, the stinger or one of the talents.
That's what I think it's usually heads you deliver.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna bring back a head.
It's a little big.
I'm gonna take the stinger.
Well then, roll me a survival check to find your way back. As you're now multiple minutes away from everyone else.
Leopards run pretty fast, and I get his run speed.
So
Probably
hard
not-
to see us from the
It's
ground.
probably not going to be faster than flying though.
It's not, oh, okay. Survival?
Yep. Okay, you
Yeah.
find them. Let's switch the focus back to the others then. As the combat does at least seem to be stalled, as they're kind of shuffling about, still pointing their weapons at you, talking between each other quietly.
Just touch Tilraxos for 21 hit points as he just takes a slight, scratches a little bit in his own hand and then delivers the blood onto Tilraxos' wound that just bends up magically in front of them. And he'll whisper to Avendra to show her best.
Can I get a message when I arrive? Or some kind of sign?
You'll arrive eventually.
So what are they talking about? I understand their language.
Well, can you tell me at least when I arrive?
I will tell you, yes.
Thank you.
They are speaking quietly, although the words you do understand are Liars, Twin Tongue, and Sunta.
It is Thunder Moonhide I spoke to. Yes, you know him? I wouldn't know that name if I hadn't talked to him. You're from the Moon Clan, yes? We have common enemies. Sunta seeks to control all dragons, and we do not want to be controlled by the likes of her. I'm sure you can understand why. Very unpleasant sort. We value independence and, initiative in our friends. Something that she and hers lack.
One of them steps forward, kind of stabs his spear into the ground so it stands, and says, "How do we know that you are not simply Sunta's pets, intent on gaining favors with her by finding out where the rest of our clan is hiding?"
It's likely that there's Rakayaks who
He will
talks to
look
these
to his
people.
son and say, "You know what Sunta's pet looks like. He's big and red and horrible. Yes, you have met him before, I imagine."
Yeah, it is worth mentioning that they are speaking in Shanti, so only Rachaex currently understands them. The Shanti nods and says, "Yes, the Watcher. But he too has control over Sunta's other pets, all the other winged beasts that do her commands. There are many smaller ones who are either tasked to assault us at any possibility, or even do it voluntarily to perhaps gain whatever it is they think they would gain from it. Just
So I
as
take it
these
that Thunder Moonhide has not told you of his adventure to the south, how it all went down. We met him there and defeated him after he attempted to attack us. Thinking us Suntas creatures, we, however, let him go home without harming him or his people. They did not make it back.
Thunder Moonhide did make it back. However, he talks of many things. His idea are nonsense, and his words and his negligence of his assigned duty is pathetic. He left the Cinderlands to pursue some far-fetched plan to perhaps do something that would, in his words, benefit the clans. However, all he did was leave his place and leave us alone. He is meant to overwatch the Cave of Knowledge, however, he simply left without telling anyone. He has returned, yes, but now he will not leave that place again, or he will lose his place as the Moon Clan shaman.
And yet, he did not tell you of us being there. Dragons he met who defeated him and let him go home.
He did mention such a thing, but
You thought it impossible, because you have only met Suntas thus until now. But I tell you, is it so hard to think that she is not beloved by those who serve her? She has, as far as to our knowledge, gotten her hands on an item that forces the Great Reds to serve her, no matter if they want to or not. We are not affected by this spell, and we have yet managed to evade Reds that are big enough to force us to do anything. The one we met, this Watcher, revealed to us that he only reluctantly does her will because he is forced to, and he would not want to pursue us. He suggested we might find another clan hiding in the mountains somewhere, who thinks that they can simply leave the problem without having to deal with it. We, however, decided to come to the Moon Clan first. We would seek to speak to you, hear your words on the situation, and how we can help each other, and perhaps find more allies to deal with Sunta and her ilk.
if what you say is true, if Sunta does indeed have such an item to force the Great Red to serve her, then why is the Watcher often accompanied by a white, his white shadow? Why is he often accompanied by a smaller dragon, the color of wet sand? Why are there so many others serving her willingly?
That's also the best description of Dandelion I've ever heard. He's wet sand. That's what he is. Not just his color. That's actually him.
It says, she has with her a great gold worm, it seems. We do not know why it serves her, but it serves, and we want no part of that. Some of our kind, perhaps, are intrigued by the potential power they could gain. But such power is not from a source that is worthy. The spirit of actions are just as important as the results, are they not?
He frowns, thoughtful, and turns back to his companion standing next to him, whispering between each other, this time too low for you to actually understand. As he then turns back to you, nods. If you know Thunder Moonhide, then he should be the one speaking to you.
I agree.
However, he cannot currently leave.
We can go to him. If you will show us the way.
And if you are indeed lying, you would find out about that, which Sunta may never find out about.
I am sure that you have warriors there capable of defeating us. In some manner or another.
He looks thoughtful at that, as many of the archers kind of try to give him reassuring looks that they could indeed shoot you down before you flee, as he then nods and says, I will lead you there. However, it is up to Aura of the Council to decide your fate. You may not be able to talk to Thunder Moonhide in the first place if he disagrees with your presence.
Sure. Take us to your leaders. And give them a nice grin.
You get a determined look, a similarly determined nod, as the others start sheathing their weapons, tending to their wounds, and in general getting ready to, it seems, head out.
Actually, look to the others and say in Draconic. Does Avendra speak Draconic?
She does.
Good. Wonderful. Does she speak like a cold dialect, or did she know it beforehand?
She knew it in writing beforehand, but she has picked up the verbal part, mostly from listening to you.
What? But you asked her in Draconic if she knew Draconic, and you said she didn't act like she knew it.
Well, that was because she only read it before.
Oh.
She knows the runes and the grammar that you need to read like magical documents.
Usually magical documents, you write them in whatever language you do, but they're always in the Draconic script.
Okay.
Or you need read magic generally.
I thought you were clever there and pretend she didn't know.
She wouldn't lie to us. He will tell them that these people seem to be a little skeptical, as would be expected from them. You know, we are dragons after all, and we did fight them. They thought us to be Sunta's beings, as they have been attacked apparently by more small dragons who seem to have been harassing their clan, trying to find the location of their secret villages. They have, however, agreed that they could not take us if they tried, and they will lead us to some person who will then tell Thunder Moonhide, the guy we spared, about us, our presence, and then we will go and see him and talk to him. Apparently he's been scolded quite badly for coming home empty-handed, or for leaving in the first place. Mechanics isn't entirely sure. He should be able to explain the whole thing to them. He did apparently say it, but because he was kind of in the bad graces at the time, they didn't believe him. He's their shaman, as it turns out.
Darksus looks at these humans and sniffs and says, very well. Let's hope they don't try anything.
Darksus says, if they try anything, I'm confident that we can take them.
And they will eventually start moving in a particular direction. Not really paying you too much mind, but it does seem like they do want you to follow them.
We'll
Although-
fly circles above them like carrion birds.
Eagles, please. Like birds
Sure.
of prey.
Keeping
Keeping-
our eyes on them.
Have Einavox arrived?
Yes.
Keeping our eyes
Okay,
on
she'll
birds.
just land and look really annoyed.
Just as the rest is about to take flight.
Tyraxis looks at the welcome back, Einavox. How did
She'll-
the hunt
she'll just-
go?
She just throw the
You look bloody.
as she's covered in blood, she throw the stinger in front of her. It's like just look at you, it's like a nod.
Impressive work. They fled from you after just a bite.
Well, I am a fearless killer.
As it turns out, yeah. I certainly would not want to be on the receiving end of that.
Tyraxis silently agrees. It seems very bad. Seems very bad indeed.
I mean, I have 50% chance, no less.
That's it's a lot of DC for.
And
What's
after
DC?
5 rounds, I'd be I'm screwed.
Is this 19 or
Oh.
something still like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm balancing 50-50.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, it's 50-50 for me.
I mean, technically for me, it's in my favor. I can get it 55% of the time.
Well,
But
she
it's-
doesn't have any reason to bite any of you.
I hope not.
I had to. I'd probably just buff up fully to get my AC to ridiculous heights and hope we never get hit.
She has no reason to bite you.
Not yet.
We need to.
No, you
We need to
know.
group together to
If you
defeat.
bite me, you get hurt.
We need to defeat
So-
Einavox quickly before she becomes too strong.
We'll save to trust Einavox not to bite us.
Actually, I'm gonna just hide underground until she goes away.
Plop in the water. Wait, no, there's no water. I'll just be really nice. How about that? That worked.
Even if you know
She's a fickle mistress, Rakax. You can't trust her.
she would only attack you if you directly tried to kill her.
I mean, indirect.
Or
Directly.
broke her books.
Oh my god! Don't do that.
You tried to kill me, but I only broke a book.
Just
Yes.
that you weren't the prettiest dragon in the world.
I would like you to
Volnix
lavish praise
already
upon
said
all of
that.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
she's the evil
A
queen.
Poisoned apples and
Evil?
everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we will circle above them
She's lawful neutral.
as they lead us along.
Ba-doom-boop.
Roll me a perception check, Rotex.
On your
Sure, I can
attack.
do it. Not particularly good at it.
Also, sheep, are we being followed?
Maybe that's what we're checking.
Well, you do see that the group below you seems to be talking between each other, occasionally glancing upwards towards you, but you have no idea what they're actually saying.
If he catches someone's eye, he'll give them his claw up, like a thumbs up with a claw.
Oh, it would have been nice to say what claw. You just
Yeah, the
flip
middle
the bird
claw.
at them.
claw.
The middle claw.
Yeah, flip the claw at them.
Gotta give them the finger.
As they do seem to be scanning the rest of the skies rather intently as they try to move, apparently without trying to attract too much attention from various things.
That's fine. I mean, we're not too attention dragging. I mean, if dragons are on the lookout, we'll catch all the eye, and what are they going to do when they see us? Think we're Sunta's ducks as well? Might actually work to our advantage. Everyone will assume that we were Sunta, even her own people.
True. Shrewd.
Even if there'd be no mercy for those fuckers. If they willingly joined her, oof, that's
Shrewd
not the
indeed.
position to be in. I'm good at killing other dragons
The
first.
travel does take a while, and after basically the rest of the day traveling, the Shanti eventually settle down to what looks like making camp and resting for the night.
Einavox will tell the group that she is very proud that you didn't kill all of them. Wouldn't
Actually
have-
looked a little indignant.
No, she's talking to Tyraxis and Volnix, because it would have destroyed our chance to actually get these people to help us.
Tyraxis looks at them. Perhaps. Sometimes an example needs to be stated, and if these creatures understand brute strength, then that seems to be a viable way as well. He sort of massages some of his wounds.
I believe many packs of animals have a beating order. Do not kill those because you simply allow them to live under you. Part of the pack.
Letting insults stand is bad form, I think. They might think
And
they
yet-
are in control.
I don't think their fighting was so bad as to be called an insult. They
Can-
tried their best, and I think they did a decent job of challenging us. Although we could have defeated them all.
Oh my god, guys, I have a tent if you want.
Can I get some healing?
Sure.
Some of their arrows did nothing to me. I'd be fine.
Here.
All
Here, go
right,
to
I have
Alexis.
I have
19.
2 arrows in me.
Will that be enough?
Maybe. Let me add the healing for the rest. And that's
Volnix,
enough.
you take
Yep.
you take this, Volnix. 15.
That's half my damage.
You can take 20 more.
That's all my damage.
And then I have one more for Einox. 21.
Whoa.
Done.
Yeah.
That's only my 3rd level spells.
You're already becoming awesome healer.
Dynavox looks to the group. Should I go hunting?
I mean, I will have dream food. I will offer you as well if you want.
I would
Yes,
rather have.
please.
Sure.
I would
It's so
rather have.
hot here. I need
fresh-
something frozen.
Well, when I can go hunt in another form, so it's not poisonous.
If you want to hunt, you can hunt something and then dump it for them. They'd probably be happy for like a deer or something.
She looks and scowls at them. And
Just drop it from the air, like down to the side.
I'm
of the camp,
gonna go
like-
hunt
like that.
as a mammal. It's
They will probably try to kill you then.
Oh. I actually kind of like Rakax's idea. See if you try and drop the food upon them.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna hunt as a mammal. It's easier. I have a better nose that way.
Fine.
You see,
Einovox makes sure.
Just try not to be killed by them then.
Well, she walks past them and looks at them and then turns into a puma, so she knows that they saw her.
They look mildly frightened,
She looks
but get the message.
Okay, good. And then she runs off.
So I will next. I suppose you take first watch. Yes.
Always watch.
Oh, well, that's very useful. I'll be going to sleep then.
You never sleep. All right.
Oh yeah.
Tyraxos pokes a claw at the ground and then burrs down.
Does Einovox bring back something yummy?
Oh
Well-
yes.
He burrows under here so he can have tremor sense on all of these creatures if they start moving.
They move away as soon as you burrow.
No, what? Why do they move?
Well, he's underground, so you just follow.
Yeah, I'm like 10 feet underground.
They okay.
No
Sure.
one uses feet anymore.
1 second.
Boom.
It's not
Yeah,
like in
wings
Winnie the Pooh
underground.
when you see like a burrow thing coming closer to
I thought you were just going to walk into their midst and then dig a hole.
Dig.
No,
Spread the ashes of their fire everywhere.
Exactly.
It's really insulting.
No, I burrow over there and then I dig my way under them.
Sure. They
What-
do
what-
not actually make a fire. They seem to eat like salted pork and other
Oh,
things
salted pork.
that do not.
Rakax will take him out back again.
They are salted pork. Yes.
Go over here sniffing.
Oh, Einovox comes back. Wait, what did she catch?
You caught enough mountain goats to feed a village.
I only catch how much I need, not more. She is.
I mean, you need a lot to impress them.
You could have caught enough mountain goats to feed a village.
Roll them down a hill like a avalanche of.
She comes back holding 2 goats, I suppose, one for them and one for me.
You give them a go to.
Yeah, she throws a goat at them.
Okay, sure. Their reactions are enigmatic, to say the least, but they'll accept your offering.
She looks to Alvornix and looks at the goat and then at him.
And they do try to distinctly ignore attacks while he's sniffing at their salted pork.
He'll come over here with the Ventra. Sort of use tongues again because the other one ran out. Be like, excuse me. Do you mind if I join you?
One of them says, yes.
Oh,
I see. I would like to learn more about your people,
well,
if possible.
They hesitate.
Inox drags the goat over to Alvonix and looks at him and looks at the goat. Basically, wanna share.
Vonix will kind of nod slightly, poke a claw at a section, freezing it very slightly.
Yeah, sure. She'll stay this form so it won't get poisonous.
One of the
If you have wounds that need mending, I can take care of that.
some of them have obvious wounds, but none of them come forward with requests for you to heal them. One of them, however, will turn towards you and say, "Without permission from Aura of the Council, we are not going to tell you anything. However, if you do, as you say, know Thunder Moonhide, then he will be the person to talk to if you wish to learn more about our people."
Well, let me at least show you good faith by healing one of you.
Does Terexus want some too?
It should
Okay.
be obvious at this point that I do not wish to fight you.
They look to each other, and eventually the most injured of them just step forward.
He'll take a little bit of his own blood and, use it to heal him for 13.
Sure. You will accept your bloody healing and quickly go back to inspect his now healed wounds, looking
you
very
will try and
suspicious.
You can certainly ask. It is no trouble at all, really.
None of them really answer anything.
We also look curiously at the area and try to see, just to himself, if he can create water.
You can try, but that would be a concentration check.
How do you even make those nowadays? Caster level plus
There's a
mod
button
plus
for it.
spell? Yeah, okay. There's a button for it. Where's that button? Concentration. Where is the button?
It's next to skill check. It's one of the light blue
Oh,
ones.
yeah. I use charisma. Caster level.
You try and feel significant resistance in this hot and dry area, but eventually your spell does work, and the reaction of the Shanti is immediate as all of them immediately shuffle back away from the thing you've just did, looking at you.
He will bathe himself in a bit of a wash of gallons of water. You're scrubbing the day's dirt and blood off of himself. Drinking a little bit of it.
It has certainly caused quite a reaction, although what it means you can't quite tell. Unless you would want to roll a sense motive check.
Sure. It's curious.
You can just roll those yourself if you want to try to identify the situation. You have no idea what they mean. They look scared. That's all you see.
You do not like water?
They look at each other, look at you. What you do is only done by the spirits.
Oh,
It is
God.
wrong for you to do this.
He looks at them and say, "Are you so certain my kind is from the plains, a world where spirits of this world come from? Some of them, anyway."
Oops. They don't seem to comprehend what you're trying to say here.
Right, well. Sure. And says, "Well, I hope you will sleep well. Do you think we'll be there tomorrow, or will it take longer than that?"
One of them at least looks towards you and says, "We should get close tomorrow, yes."
Can I, with these efforts, try to do a diplomacy check to improve their opinion?
You can.
Oh my.
They have certainly changed their opinion from one of suspicion and fright to one of confusion and mysticism, really. As one of them does indeed eventually offer you a piece of salted pork.
He will very much enjoy sort of put it in his mouth and just sort of sucking on it for a little bit, just get the salt out.
It is really salty.
Oh, that's great. Man, they're hardcore eating that here. He would have suggested they would try dried meat, but maybe they like the salt more.
They're gonna start a fire now that they have a goat to fry.
It doesn't look like they are comfortable starting a fire here.
They're afraid of getting spotted, probably. Hey, maybe they'll bring the goat or skin it or something. It's really up to them. Well, and then, having talked to them for a little while, I'll go back. Arendra is sleeping.
Avendra does pull out her sleeping bag and make a sleeping camp in one of the near one of the rocks.
Inabox has a tent in her backpack if she needs it. It's a pretty big tent, though.
It would be pretty difficult to properly construct a tent here, though, because you can't really, put you can't really fasten it too easily.
Use the covering as sort of a big blanket, though, I imagine, because it's going to get pretty cold.
That could work, yes.
In the desert.
Can Inabox still understand Draconic?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Then that could be part of this conversation with
Well,
nods.
You will come back to them and say they still seems very suspicious, but I think they at least understand that that our powers reach far. I believe they compared us to spirits, which is what, as far as I understand, they worship. Hence why they are reluctant to speak to us beyond what their shaman would be able to.
I see. Looking over at them.
When she's done eating, she'll turn back to a dragon so she can talk.
In the background, Avendra is complaining about this rock being too hard to be used as a pillow.
Kek looks to Inabox, remembering that she stole the big pillow.
No, it was the same as the one she had. And she didn't bring a pillow. Inabox at least didn't bring Ina a pillow.
Tyraxus burst down again.
Boom! It was like, what the fuck is your problem?
Okay, so finds
That's a little close.
bit of like a crack in the rock to curl up in there.
Can
Right,
find plenty of those.
It can be a little bit hidden, sort of in a
Yes,
little
my-
bit of a alcove.
I miss my bush.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of vegetation here.
There are a few bushes, even something that looks like a tree, but nothing really that would be green or look like plants in the first place. Most plants really look like weirdly shaped rocks.
Doesn't sound that comfortable. She'll just sleep in this. Is this sand or dirt?
It's a mix. It's mostly hard rock with a bit of sand pockets and dirt pockets.
Don't give me I stole the big pillow. She could have brought the pillow that's the same one as the one I have.
I'm not gonna drag a pillow all the way out here. Yeah, some furs and a backpack. No, that should be enough. Or a sleeping bag.
And eventually night does fall, the sun falling behind the mountains. And while it does get significantly colder really just means that the heat gets comfortable. Except perhaps for Avomix. And you do sleep. I need to find a button here.
To change it into the day and night cycle.
Yes. to fade into the...
Fade to black.
let's see.
Well, Baldur's Gate style sleeping scenes.
And so the next day begins. It is now the 6th of Calistral. I can move this. And early dawn, the Shanti do seem to be moving enough to probably wake up Tyraxus underground. As they are breaking camp, even though their camp wasn't really anything, they essentially just laid down and slept. No tents, no campfires, just a bit of a food break, sitting, talking. And come early dawn, they look intent on heading out again. It does seem like they are following their usual routine, essentially ignoring you completely, although some of them occasionally look back as they are starting to move away, if you're really following or not.
Oh, we'll follow.
Yep.
We follow.
And if you look on the bigger map, eventually they move here. Happy birthday, okay. It's pretty much just before noon as the entire group of Shanti, not the overview map, sorry, the big map on the right in the same area. But just just before noon, the group stops, and they do look up towards you, indicating that they would wish to speak.
Okay, will swoop down.
Sure.
T-Rexes will get close enough so you can start breathing on them if they're trying anything.
Yeah, I know X will stay close just in
Landing.
case.
Taking a few steps to, slow down.
Yeah, one of them steps forward towards Rajax, the same person who has been essentially been the main spokesperson for the entire group, points essentially north and says,
Okay, will cast tongues.
okay, and says that, the village of the scrolls is to the north. However, we will not be accompanying you. You will find Thunder Moonhide and Aura of the Council up there.
Who may we say led us to this place? And why will you not come with us?
We left the place to hide in the mountains.
So you're no longer welcome?
We would not be. It is dangerous to associate with the clan nowadays. Sunta's pets do everything to, well, disrupt our every movement. There has been no messenger being able to reach any other clan except the Sun clan, of course. They have all been intercepted and killed. Hunting parties regularly get attacked.
But they don't know about this place.
Not yet, no, but it is only a matter of time. The mountains are safe, the wyverns there. They also attack Sunda's pets. They act as, well, perhaps not guards, but alarms, giving us enough time to run away.
I see. Well, once this clan has been risen up again, perhaps you will do the honor of coming back. But for now, I understand your predicament. We will go ahead alone. Do you have a name, perhaps?
He will give you his name.
All right. Good. I shall remember the name. Let's see, and I am Kayaks. This is Avrolnix, Clavaxos, and Einavax. And of course, this is Avendra.
They do look curiously to Avendra, but they do not question it.
This is Dragon Rider in training.
That much is obvious.
Indeed. Well, thank you for your company. I hope we meet again. And that our next meeting will be a bit more peaceful than the initial one. See?
The spokesperson nods and says, "It was not as deadly meeting you as it should have been. May your spirit guide you."
And your spirit guides you. Sort of, gives him a nod of parting as he takes to the air again.
As the Shanti will essentially go back the way they came with you. Going southwest.
They will bear those scars until they die.
Yes.
Well, lightning scars are pretty cool.
Director smiles.
Now this way, as they basically point towards the direction. They did not want. He'll tell the others what they said.
Right.
So they were the hunters. I could smell them.
They had fled the village and they found it very awkward to come back because once you left, you're kind of not welcome to come back because kind of betrayed all the people who couldn't defend themselves and whatnot.
Oh yeah, they're the veterans.
We'll go
That
talk,
is such a bad style.
talk to the shaman, the Moonhide. But we should probably approach them carefully because apparently they're waiting for Sunda's people to discover them.
So how do we approach them carefully?
Well, can we see the thing that they pointed towards?
You can see the direction, but you can't immediately see any sort of village or anything.
Well, let's try to fly so high that that they can't reach us with the bows first.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, and then we can
So-
shout down to them.
Hi! Hi!
Well,
Hey,
considering their shooting abilities that you have seen from these ones, you would have to fly very, very high to be out of bow range.
I could
Oh.
approach them in my human form and say I come in peace.
Yeah, no, you have green hair. They would not buy it.
Well, they would know it's pretty
Hey, we only
vulnerable.
need to talk to the shaman, really. If we don't attack them, then they will probably attack us. But if we just land, call out,
Land on the big cliff over the village, shout down.
yeah. We just need to talk to them, really. I mean, that's the first thing I need to do. Just call out Thunder Moonhide.
Green hair is cool.
So I guess they're if we fly closer to enough to try to see the tent village or whatever, get some caves or something.
Yeah, flying in the indicated direction, it does take a few minutes, but eventually you do spot what seems to be a village would be overstating it, but certainly a collection of tents and other signs of people living there, such as, horses being attached to some of the rocky bushes, signs of recent traveling on foot, and eventually also people walking around in front of a rather large cave.
Is there an outcropping or something?
You could
Mountain
find one, yes.
ridge or something? Indicate we can just swoop to the side. In those cool formations like jet planes.
Sure.
Slide to the side
Flying V.
and landing up there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the first thing to do would be to roar to get their attention. Or we'll let Tobaxus or Volnix do that.
Sure. Like a roar.
A roar that would echo through the caves.
What's wrong with my raw?
Oh no, they seem stronger physically.
Directors will find a good outcropping and do what he does on his profile picture, basically.
And roar down.
Do a synchronized roar.
And pretty much immediately when that's done, Volnix will be Rakax will begin to speak because we don't want to give them a chance to begin shooting at us all the time.
No.
If possible. We're calling out, Thunder Moonhide, we have arrived to aid you in your fight against Sunda. Come out and see us.
Let me move you to a different map here. Whoops. Into the darkness you go. It can be on top.
Kayaks calls upon you.
Okay. Vision blocking was yes.
As the bargain was struck, Thunder Moonhide, show yourself.
Rakax will do this with still the
Alright.
tongues available. It lasts for an hour, so
I think
Should be.
he spoke common, right?
yeah. But the people probably don't, and we kind of want them to know what's going on.
Sure.
The
Sure.
the reaction to the roar is immediate, as after a moment of not anyone moving, they do seem to go for their weapons immediately. However, the words do stall them for at least a moment as they kind of look to each other.
We understand you are wary of our kind, and that's why we ask you to come to the outside of the village, and we will not enter it without your permission.
As from the cave, essentially right below you, essentially, as you're standing on the cliff there.
Are there
You
only
do.
3 tents?
Sorry, what?
Are there only 3 tents, or is this like the outskirts?
It's just a representation. There are like half a dozen, maybe a dozen tents. Some understands where horses are currently saddled.
Sure. How many people does it seem to be here? Like from just this.
Immediately looking over this place, 2 dozen, 3 dozen. Most of
so not
them
that many.
most of them fighters of some sort, as they are clearly walking with enough, with weapons. But there are also like older people and the occasional smaller Shanti that you would assume is a child.
From the checks we made at the beginning, when we thought about what these kind of, do we know how many they usually live in, like a clan? How big are clans typically?
These kind of villages, rare as they are, aren't nearly as big as a normal village would be. A couple dozen people, perhaps, would be normal. But the
Like
people here certainly
30,
seem
40 people. Yeah.
like 50 to 100.
All right.
But there's certainly fewer than there should be here in this village. You can see that almost immediately.
Sure.
And as you kind of shout your words into the village, almost immediately you do see a familiar figure rushing out of the cave, looking upwards.
Mechanics will look down at him.
I think we all do. Like Tyraxus is, as I said, he's clinging onto the cliffside, roaring down like he does, like wings out, looking as majestic as he can.
His Thunder Moonhide is standing there as you've seen it, surprised at you being so, well, obvious, as he looks around, points to the other people currently readying their bows and weapons at you, and kind of shoos them away, as they do exactly as he says, sheathing their weapons, stepping away, as he then will kind of indicate towards you and then towards one of the tents, as he will head there.
Yeah, they have a tent too.
Jump and do that, swoop down the
Yep.
cliff.
And
like, fly
land,
and
and
land.
land like in a shower of sparks from the claws as they touch the ground, Real dramatic.
You are so dramatic.
You dragons, talk with behind the tent.
And he will then quickly enter the tent, gesture you inside.
Gonna get
A shaman and 4 dragons and a girl went into a tent. I don't know what's going on. It's really weird.
Yeah, then what?
You see like 4 tails poking out of the tent in different angles.
I think I know this one, but what? Then what? It sounds like a joke. I'm sorry.
As he looks at you, his surprised expression still very obvious. Then sighs and does say, "Be welcome. I have to admit I did not expect a display such as this and so quickly. I also did not expect you to grow so much since our last visit. I apologize.
We
Welcome.
grow on achievement and power, Thunder Moonhide. We
I-
do not grow the same way you do.
Thank you for your welcome to your tribe. It is good to see that you remember us, although I couldn't imagine you forgetting us either. We met some other of your hunters out there and showed them, well, the same lesson that we taught you, that we are not to be trifled with and that we are not Sunta's pets. They are all alive and they showed us the way here.
Some of the deserters, I imagine.
Yes. They seemed interested in our presence here, although they were not quite ready to rejoin the tribe. It seemed they needed more proof of our success.
You do make it very difficult by simply showing up here like this.
How so?
This is our most sacred place. It is our last bastion, as it were.
So much the more important that it has great defenders.
And the story of our meeting has spread.
Good.
I have lost a lot of honor by simply leaving my tribe to try to save it through my means, although indirectly or not, you put a stop to that. You have, however, arrived at a fortunate time, as Aura of the Council is currently out trying to talk some sense into some of the deserters. As unsuccessful as he might be, it is the most useful thing he has done in weeks. Once he comes back, however, he will not appreciate your presence here.
I suppose then it is time to show these people that your actions might have been the fortune that can save this entire tribe. The aid of one such as us is not to be trifled with. I believe even now we could defeat this entire tribe in combat, if need be. Having us on your side surely cannot be overestimated.
Do not underestimate our fighters, Dragon. I apologize, Brachax. I am in your debt and much. However, I do need to know your intentions for your helpfulness.
We have common enemies. Seeking Santa's defeat is why we're here.
Whether
The
or not,
enemy of my enemy.
whether or not you're telling the truth, I can accept that reasoning. And now you wish to do what?
First, we must be introduced to your clan and perhaps learn a bit of your people. Know what sort of things to do and what sort of things to try not to do. We would, well, not like to fight amongst ourselves. Yes? Then we will see if we can strike some of these scouts away to regain the faith of your people who have left. Then perhaps try to unite some other clans to our cause. It is said that the messengers have been defeated. We would not be defeated.
He looks at each of you, says, introducing you to the clan, that is something that I can do as shaman for this clan. I am not, however, the leader of this clan, nor do I have as much influence as I would have liked. The Moon Clan is, in a way, led by a council. It used to be a council of 5. However, 2 of them were killed when the Sun Clan attacked one of our meetings. The third one has ran away and has yet to be found. However, I suspect that he has fallen prey to cinder wolves or something of the likes. The 4th is here in this village, Aura of the Council. He pretends simply that everything is alright, that nothing has happened. He thinks that the clan is still in order, still stable. Yet many parts have broken away and refuse contact. And the 5th council member, taken captive by the Sun Clan and Sunta.
It seems to me that this Aura of the Council then is a man of delusions.
Ineptitude indeed seems to be the word.
Ejecting him from said position seems to be a good idea then, yes?
What are the rites or some such that could be followed for naming new council members?
I do not think that a new council is the solution to our problems. However, let us take one step at a time. If you truly wish to help the Moon Clan, then you too need to be part of the Moon Clan. It is not meant to be allowed to outsiders. However, it is up to the clan's shaman to decide, which in this case is rather fortunate. If you truly wish to defeat Santa by helping us, the Moon Clan, then you should follow me. There's one thing that needs to be done before I will do everything in my power to help you.
And
Follow me.
What is that?
He says, follow me, and heads out of the tent.
Mechanics will follow him, confident that, if he takes us, like, you must sacrifice your limbs. Then we just, eat him and take over the clan by force.
There are more people than before watching you. Not all of them having weapons, but certainly all of them very curious, interested, suspicious even.
Actually, his charismatic presence shine.
It does seem to be overshadowed by the fact that you are indeed dragons.
Yeah, it's enhanced by it.
As
Mix of respect and fear.
The majesty, the grandeur.
Thunder
Not
Moonhide
power.
will enter the cave and beckon you to follow. So I will make a new image visible for you. As he enters the cave, you clearly hear the sputtering of water, the echo of wet stones. But Thunder Moonhide quickly says, "Do not touch anything. Do not drink the water. I would have said keep your hands to yourself, however that might prove difficult for you. Be respectful to this place, for it is a holy place to our people."
Your requests have been heard.
And you enter a cave that really doesn't feel like it should be here. The dry air outside is quickly replaced with a really wet mist as every surface of every rock is coated with water. Moss, fungus, and other things that thrive on a wet area. It seems completely opposite to what the Cinderlands really is. Avendra certainly seems completely fascinated by all of this. But what is most fascinating in this place is the fact that in the cave walls are many shelves made from hardened clay